Hello, and welcome to the first in our series of Orientation Ask Me Anythings. Tonight we'll be talking about registration, advising, housing, the new student portal, and anything else that you have a question about. So my name is Christine Krieger. I'm the Associate Director of New Student Programs. I'm very excited to be here with you tonight. We have some students who will be joining us in a little bit, but before we do that, I'm very excited to introduce our advising team. So right now I'll start with Emily Pearl, who is the Assistant Provost, and she'll tell you a little bit about what to expect in the coming weeks.
All right, so I'm here with our pre-major advising team, and the goal of pre-major advising for all of you is to do three things. You're going to work with one of these advisors, and they're going to help you with academic planning and course registration. They're going to guide you in a process of self-discovery, helping to identify passions and interests and eventually selecting a major. And they're going to connect you with Goucher opportunities and resources, including courses, faculty, co-curricular opportunities, etc. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over and have each of our three advisors introduce themselves.
So hi, my name is Kendall Walker. I am one of the pre-major academic advisors. I'm excited to talk to you all today. I'm originally from the Baltimore area, and I have 2 years experience of academic advising. So I really love what I do, specifically working with first-year students. So I think this is a great opportunity for me, and I'm so excited to meet you as well. A little advice when you come in is just take your time when you get here. Start to really understand exactly what you want to do. As a pre-major student, you are undecided. So you'll have this time to kind of explore and use this time, your first year, to get to know the campus, the clubs and organizations that you want to be in, and also the classes that will lead you to your academic major. So again, I'm really excited to meet you all in the fall. Thank you.
Buenas noches. My name is Frances Ramos Fontan. Goucher is my second home. I've been working here at Goucher for 22 years. I teach in the Center for Hispanic and Latinx Studies, and I'm also the director of a weekend program called the Futuro Latino Learning Center. Welcome to Goucher. You are practically already here. I'm very excited to work with you. I will be a temporary academic advisor just for the summer. But I'll be putting your schedules together, and we'll be talking on the phone, and I'll be available all summer to answer your questions. My advice to you is just enjoy the summer, and then you'll come here and get to just create a new family here at Goucher. Ask questions, ask a lot of questions, because that's what everybody's here for. There are a lot of support services here, and find a way to connect. Find somebody to connect with, and you will. So good luck, and I hope to see you soon.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tina Toretti. I've lived in the Baltimore area for quite a while now. Have worked at a number of colleges and universities as an academic advisor, and I'm thrilled to be here at Goucher and to welcome all of you to the Goucher family. We're really looking forward to meeting you soon, being able to work with you, kind of walk through the process of pre-major advising, working with you on your first semester, and hopefully allowing you to explore all the many possibilities that exist for you here. So this is a really exciting time. Sometimes it's a little scary. I can tell you that I was an undecided student in college. I was a first-generation college student. I didn't really know what college was all about, and that really propelled me to want to work with people like yourself and to assist you and to walk through the process with you. So very excited to meet you. Can't wait to get the year going, and hope you'll come by, talk to us. We'll be reaching out over the summer, and really looking forward to our first year together.
So before we turn it over to the student leaders and the next portion of tonight's AMA, I just wanted to remind you of a few important dates and deadlines. You should already know by now, hopefully you've gotten on the new student portal, that the first big deadline is Monday, June 3rd, where all of your required registration tasks are due. So within that, we want you to give us your 5 top choices for first-year seminars. There's lots of interesting topics, and so tell us 5 that sound interesting to you, and we'll make sure you get in one of those 5. We want you to complete the writing and foreign language placement tests. There's also a self-placement, just sort of questionnaire that you fill out for your data, math, computational science courses, and then go through the advising tutorial. And it's very important, the questionnaire at the end is information where you're going to tell us all about your interests, courses that you loved in high school, courses you hope to take at Goucher, if you know for sure what you want to major in, if you just have some interest, or if you have no idea. There's all places for those answers on the questionnaire, and the advisors are going to take that information, and we're going to work as a team to create course schedules for you all. And then during the week of June 17th, you're going to get an email from one of these three women, and they'll let you know that they're going to be your advisor, and they're going to provide you with a link to your course schedule and a link to sign up for a 15-minute phone appointment with one of them. And from there, you'll get to talk to them this summer and meet them in person when you arrive on campus in the fall for orientation. And there'll be plenty of opportunities at that time to make schedule adjustments as well. So thanks so much. I'm going to turn it back to Christine.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
So we are going to, one more time, let's thank our advisors for coming out here. It's so nice, I think, to get a face to a name, because it's really difficult to be on the phone with someone and not really know what they look like sometimes. So we're really glad they could come on tonight. So we're going to have our student leaders come in now. So we have our first year mentor co-chairs. First year mentors are the upper class students who are here to help you transition to Goucher. And you may have already gotten an email from your first year mentor. So we're super, super excited about that. So just before they introduce themselves, to very quickly recap, if you have not yet done so, please, please, please get on the new student portal. Please fill out all of the information you need to for your advisors by June 3rd so that they can get you in those classes that you need and be able to be ready to have that conversation with you the week of June 17th. So they're really excited to meet you. We're all very excited to meet you. And now I want to introduce our first year mentor co-chairs, who are two of the loveliest human beings that I have the pleasure of knowing.
That's true.
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Deja Ellis. I am now a senior here at Goucher College. I'm an education policy major with a minor in history, and I'm looking forward to you all coming this fall. I hope you guys are excited. Like Christine said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your first year mentors, and I may be one of them. You never know. So.
Hey everyone, my name is Udon Lawal. I'm also now a senior economics major, environmental studies minor. I know I told some of my mentees that I will be on air. So, let me know if you see me.
Extra points for everyone,
honestly, yes. So, if you have any questions, please let us know. Let's do this.
Yeah. So just so you all know, this will be very informal. Don't feel like you need to have the most perfectly worded question of all time. This is a conversation. We're here to help you out with anything. So we are taking questions and comments, anything you need in the comment section on the YouTube video, as well as in the 2023 Facebook group, or you can email them to firstyear@goucher.edu with the subject line AMA, and we are ready to take them from any of those places. So we have a bunch. We'll get started with them, but keep sending any in. And even if you think it might already be there, don't even worry about it. Just send it in. We're ready to go. So we will start with the first question. How do I know what first year seminar class I have? So like Emily said, you will select 5 options. And then what will happen is when you get your class schedule, those advisors will send you your class schedule before mid-June, or that week in mid-June. And so you'll see on that what your first year seminar will be. And then you can talk with your advisor if you have any questions about that.
Can I change my schedule after I've registered for classes? So, correct me if I'm wrong, Christine. But when you arrive here at campus, when you meet with your advisors, if there's something on your schedule that you feel as though is a little off or you want to adjust, they'll let you know, because there are a few classes that you will have to take. So those classes will remain on your schedule. But if you're taking like a complex major in which you believe that you have to take these classes in your first semester and they aren't there, you can definitely speak with your advisor during that time to inform them of that, and they can let you know if you can change it or if you'll be able to take it another semester. They'll help you figure all of that out. So don't panic when you receive your schedule. You're like, I need this class, because it's okay. When you arrive, they will help you. They'll make sure you're successful.
And that's part of that phone conversation too. If there's something on your schedule where you think, oh, I think I wrote all the wrong things, that's a great time to talk with your advisor about that too. So don't worry, you'll have opportunities to have choice in your registration. You the next question is, how do I know that I'm eligible to register? So that is, you won't actually register yourself online. So again, the advisors will do that, but know that you need to complete everything by June 3rd to go in this first round of the advisors registering you. So you really want to get done by that June 3rd deadline.
I have completed everything on the new student portal, but there's not a check mark next to everything. Have I missed something? That's a good question. So not everything gets a check mark on the new student portal. If you know for sure you did it, then you did it. And if you are a little worried about something, feel free to reach out to us. You can always call Goucher Admissions. They'll also reassure you that you did it. Just as long as you know you did it, then you did it. That's about.
No, and on the portal it indicates whether or not it should receive a check mark. So there are certain categories that say this will receive a check mark or this won't. So just if you don't see one, that's okay. And sometimes it won't be an automatic check mark. Like for example, if you are turning in your medical forms, so it won't necessarily right away check it off. But as soon as someone from the health center goes in and checks that out, they'll make sure that they get that. So that'll be a little bit easier.
How will I know if any classes are required? So just assume for the moment when you receive your schedule that all the courses that are there are required courses. You'll know more like during that phone interview which classes are required. They can go into more details of which classes you need, as well as when you arrive to campus. 2 classes that I know you'll need is your FYE class, your first year experience with your first year mentor in your cohort, and also your first year seminar courses. Those are the 2 that I'm for certain that you will need are mandatory. The other courses will be developed through your advisor, what they feel is the best suits what you need. Like if you indicated you have a complex major or anything like that, or when you had that phone conversation, if you tell them I'm really interested in taking X, Y, and Z, they may be able to put that on your schedule. But your FYE course and your seminar are definitely mandatory.
And you'll also take writing in your first year, but it may not be in your first semester. So you may also have writing 181 on your schedule, or it may wait until the spring. But that's another one that you will definitely have in your first year. So do you want to do the second question down?
Yeah. Can you explain the difference between FYE and FYS? I sure can. So the difference between FYE and FYS, FYE is first year experience and FYS is first year seminar. First year experience is a 7-week course that's taught by your first year mentor along with your first year group. And essentially it's just different conversations every week, like race and identity. And it's a lot of like in-depth conversations that we kind of just want you to start talking about, so you get used to the kind of the culture, and so you kind of understand part of what it's like being a college student. It really is to help you get adjusted to Goucher College, so you don't feel like left out or you don't feel anything. It's also so you know people in your class better, and so you can at least have some people that you can say, oh, they're in my FYE class, they're okay. Just like stuff like that. And then FYS is kind of like I would say a first class that isn't in your major and isn't quite required in the same way as majors on campus are. It's kind of the class to show you what it's like having a class at Goucher. Some of them are very course intensive and some of them are very not. So depending on whatever class it is, they're all different. So just whatever you get, it's a different class just to show you what Goucher classes look like. You'll notice they're very small, they're very personal, and the work you get is very personalized so that you can make sure you're successful your first semester. But FYE is only 7 weeks, and FYS is the whole semester. Yeah.
And you get credits for your FYS course,
Yes.
correct?
Right.
So you get credits for your FYS course. You don't receive credits for your FYE course, but both are mandatory in order for you to graduate.
I think another good point about the FYS, the first year seminar, is that a lot of times in your first year at college, you'll end up taking some foundational courses mostly. So the beginning entry points into majors. And a first year seminar is really a deep dive into a topic that a professor really loves. So it's pretty exciting. So you get to look at content and hear from a professor about something that they're really interested in their research area that you normally wouldn't have that specific type of learning until later on in your college career. So it's really exciting exciting to be able to do that and get a taste of what you'll do once you lay that foundation for that first year and for those first few classes. So next question is, what if I feel like the results of my placement test are wrong or don't fit? So if you take a placement test, and we'll say a foreign language exam, just as an example. So if you take that exam and you get placed into a level and you think, oh no, I definitely need a different level, you can retake it. So that's always an option. And something, so maybe you took Spanish, up 4 levels of Spanish and stopped your junior year, and then you just took the placement test on a Thursday night at 10 p.m. and didn't do as well as you thought. If you want to go and take a couple weeks and just look over some of your old homework and Spanish books and things like that and retake it, that's absolutely fine. And that will replace your previous score in that area.
Okay, if I don't know what I want to study, what happens if eventually I decide on a major that requires a lot of classes? So as we mentioned in the beginning, there are complex majors which you have a lot of coursework for. Like, I know the sciences are is one of those majors, like if you're taking like chem or bio or physics major, as well as an education major, depending on what track. What I would say is that when you prepare for that, like we ask when students come in, if you do plan on being on that course, is definitely let your academic advisor know, because they are complex and you do need to make sure you're taking certain classes every semester in order to graduate. But if you decide later on that that's the track that you want to go down, speak with your academic advisor right away about that. And you may have to take extensive classes, like you may have to take your next courses, or maybe even take courses throughout the summer. We have a winter term that we call J term here, where courses may be offered. It's going to be extra work. Like, there's honestly no way to get around that. That's why they ask that you declare those majors ahead of time. But I definitely believe it's possible now to make sure that if that's something you want, that they're going to help you and they're going to make sure you achieve that goal. You just have to make sure you communicate with your advisor right when you know, so they can make sure they're putting the things in place to make sure you're academically successful without being too stressed out.
What is the difference about class registration for transfer students?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So the difference is that for traditional first-year students, you will be registered for your courses. Transfer students, you will register for your courses based on what you work out with your advisor. So your advisor, if you are coming in with a declared major, will be an advisor in that major. If you are coming in undeclared as a transfer student, your advisor will be the Associate Provost for Undergraduate Studies, Isabel Moreno Lopez, and she will work with you to help figure that schedule out. If you don't know and you just have no idea if you're coming in with a major, if you have an advisor, the Associate Provost is a great resource and will be able to help you out with that as well. And if you're still worrying at this point and thinking, I have no idea what to do, email us at firstyear@goucher.edu and we will connect you with the people you need to be connected with.
Shouldn't just go ahead.
Yeah, it's all you.
Okay.
See, we're not perfect, so this
Yeah.
is definitely a conversation. You also may be able to hear there's so many frogs outside right now from the rainstorm that if you can hear them, please know it's not us. It's definitely the outdoors.
Are there any necessary classes that are needed to graduate? How do classes I take while studying abroad fit into this? So just like the advisors are saying, you will know when you have that phone call. The part of the phone call is going to be what are required classes to graduate. So you will get that information. And for studying abroad, every credit that you take while studying abroad does count for your overall credit count here at Goucher.
So our curriculum, we have the CP, not the CPs. Oh my gosh, I just forgot the name of our curriculum.
Is GR.
The Goucher Commons. Thank you. See, we're already doing badly. The people behind the camera have to tell us the information. So the Goucher Commons is the name of our curriculum, and they include lots of different courses, including CPs, which is where I got hung up on, which are center pair exploration courses. And so you'll be able to explore different majors that way as well. So you have all of those Goucher Commons courses in order to really shape the liberal arts education so that you can become an amazing critical thinker and think about things from different perspectives and learn from different angles. And then you'll also have courses in your major so that you get a specific track of information. So those courses will combine to be your requirement. So you'll have your Goucher Commons requirements, and then you'll have your major requirements, but it'll look different for different people because of different majors.
Can I take a different language than I did in high school? Absolutely. College is a time to explore. You know, if you want to explore a different language because you know you have already perfected another one, why not? So yes, we offer here at Goucher, we offer Spanish, French, what else? Arabic. And is there one more?
I think that's it right now.
That's it right now. Yeah, so we offer those 3 languages. So we definitely encourage new, students that are coming in to try new things, explore outside of what you already done, because that helps you find more of like who you are too and settle into your identity. So by all means, take something new, take an art class. If you've never taken an art class, please do something new. So yes, that's absolutely something you can do. Take an art class.
Deja, yeah, this is definitely your question.
Can you create your own major here at Goucher? Well, of course. My major is actually one in which I've created. It's called Education Policy. We call them IIM, Individualized Interdisciplinary Majors here. So the way you go about that is you choose 3 areas of study that we do have here at Goucher. So mine are political science, peace studies, and education. And you come up with a thesis and you create your own major. Like you have to explain how this is going to suit your college career. How is this going to be beneficial when you go out into the real world after college, and how can you utilize this when you graduate? So when you arrive, your academic advisor can tell you more about that if that's a track in which you already anticipate that you want to go down. But it's definitely a possibility that you can take. They'll give you a lot of facts about that, but it's amazing and I love it. So yeah, good question.
Do advisors change every year? So after your first your pre-major advisor, it does change to your actual major. So once you have an advisor in your major, that's pretty much your advisor until something happens. But for the most part, not really. So you should really only have 2 advisors while you're here at Goucher: the pre-major advisor and then your major advisor, and other advisors throughout different things. Is there anything else? That's
No, that covered it.
nice.
So next question, what is the summer reading book? These are multiple questions. How will it be used when we arrive, and how will we get a copy? So the summer reading book is Tell Me How It Ends, an essay and 40 questions. So it is actually available as an ebook through the Goucher College Library website. So what you'll do is you'll log onto the library website and you'll be able to download it, which is pretty fantastic. So along with that, we will send you via email. So be checking your Goucher email. We'll send you questions that we'll want you to answer, typed up written answers for those things. And then you'll bring that with you in the fall, and we'll use that for some of your coursework in the fall and as a jumping off point. It'll also, I believe, the answers to those questions will be part of your portfolio that you'll create at Goucher, which will be pretty cool because when you graduate, you'll have all of these amazing capstone projects that you did in there, and you'll also have the very first thing you ever wrote for college. So that'll be very exciting. So keep an eye out for emails about that, and also if you want to get a head start, feel free to go onto the Goucher College Library's website and look it up.
Once we get our classes, should we buy books right away or wait? How do we figure out what books we need? How can I save money on books? So this is a good question. I think we can both explain this because different students use different techniques. There's a website. I don't know the exact name of the website. I always put in Goucher College textbooks, and it's usually the first link that comes up. And with that, you put in the course that you have. So when you receive your schedule, you'll have the courses, and they'll be abbreviated. And you'll put that into the system, and you'll understand completely when you see it for yourself. And then you'll press continue, and from there, it'll bring up a list of the books that you need. So it'll just have right there, and they'll say required next to the books that are required. Usually what a lot of people say is that you should wait until the first week of your class, because sometimes your professor may say, you don't need to buy this book. I'll send you PDFs on this book, or I'll print out excerpts, and because we're not reading the entire book, so save your money. So a lot of people wait until the first week of classes. I know that for some of the more complex majors, they just know like this is the textbook that I need. And throughout your time at Goucher, you'll know, knowing certain professors, having taken classes with multiple professors, like, oh, this professor, if they put it on this website, is definitely going to be needed. But for the first semester, what I would say is you should wait until your first week of classes. So you can make sure that those are the books that you need, or sometimes professors may add books or take them away. So I think that first week is a good chance to wait it off a little bit. As far as buying textbook, Goucher does have an online site that you can purchase your textbook from. Barnes and Nobles is also a good place, and we actually have I believe our website's partnered with Barnes and Noble. No. Oh, it's changed. Scratch that. It's changed. But Barnes and Nobles is another thing you can use. But Barnes and Nobles is another. I'm sorry, I was waiting to give you guys correct information. But Barnes and Nobles is another good thing you can use. Amazon is another one that I use at times. But what about you, Ramon? What do you use?
This is gonna be weird. So I use a combination of online PDFs and Goucher bookstore. So I try to save money, econ major, and I try to find the book online as a PDF, maybe free. Would be awesome. If not, then I will look through all the avenues, check. There are a lot of bookstores online that do sell books cheaper, but the Goucher.ecampus.com is the bookstore, and they actually do try their best to get the cheapest price for books. I know one time when I was looking for a specific book, it was a really thick science book, and Goucher's website was actually the cheapest that I found it. So I would definitely not let you think that's the most expensive.
Also, there's like a students around campus who may be selling books who've taken classes that you may have taken in the past. So a lot of times, there's like in the library, there's this space on the third floor where students just drop off textbooks, and they're up for grabs. And you'll find that they're in odd parts of the campus. You'll be walking past sometimes. You're like, look at all these textbooks. Like sometimes I remember but outside of our writing department one time, writing professors just like put a bunch of books out there like for free that's free to take. So look for places like that. Also, like ask around campus and ask your professors, do they know anyone that has taken the course before? If it's a pricey textbook, who may be willing to sell it for you at a discounted price. That's definitely something I've done before, and trust me, students love selling back textbooks that they had to buy, especially when they have no use for it. So don't be afraid to do that. Or even ask someone in your class, like if it's a book that you guys are only going to be reading certain excerpts for, and you're not going to be reading in class, get a buddy, maybe purchase it together, so it can be more affordable for you. So it's different things that you can try to figure out.
Yeah. Also, we have a free store on campus, and what people often do at the end of the year or after a class is they put their books in the free store. And part of the cool thing about the free store is anything in it is free. You just go in, you take it. You don't have to really talk to anyone. You can really look away if you want. But yeah, just there's a lot of actually really cool books in there for classes because people don't need anymore and they don't feel like selling them. But if you can't find it in the free store, then definitely ask someone. People will be selling them in the beginning of the year. Check the website. Yeah.
And the library.
The library?
For your reading books. You can look in the Goucher library.
Yeah,
sometimes
online.
They have it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Goucher has like a really extensive library online and the physical library.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always check there to see if your book is there before you buy it.
So many avenues.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So, how many classes do first-year students take their first semester? So you have to take 12 credits in order to be a full-time enrolled student. I believe that it's about 16.
Yeah, most students will take 4 credit classes in their first semester, plus that FYE class, which is 0 credits. So it'll be 5 classes total, but 4 of them will be 4 credit courses and that one 0 credit course. If you are a dance major or another highly structured major that has some classes with different credits, it may add up a little bit differently, but for the most part, you'll take roughly 16 credits your first semester.
Are professors usually understanding if you have an illness or need to miss class? That's a really nice question. They really are actually. One thing you'll find is because the class size is so small, everything's really personalized. Professors will know when you're not in class. And what often has happened to me is I like going to class. So professors, when I'm not in class, they reach out to me and they're like, "Is everything okay?" It's always best to email a professor if you're not going to class for any reason, whether it's just you're sick, you just feeling off that day. If you woke up late, email them right after and be like, "I am so sorry," because essentially they know you're not in class. They would love for you to do the mature thing and let them know, but they also will reach out to you if they haven't seen you. So professors are really caring about that. Don't feel like you should go to class if you're super sick because you don't want to get everyone else sick. Just let your professor know. They are very understanding.
That's actually a really good time to say you should not go to class if
Yeah.
you're throwing up. Everyone.
Yeah.
Blanket
That's-
rule.
That's just, don't get everyone
don't do
else
that.
sick.
Don't cause the Goucher plague.
Which okay.
Yeah.
That's,
Also, make sure when you receive your syllabus to read it thoroughly. In that section,
Yeah.
you will also your attendance policy will be in there, and a lot of professors put in there. You have like 3 excused absences, 4 excused absences, 2 excused absences, and they'll let you know what their attendance policy is. They'll let you know. A lot of them will put in there. Please email me if you're going to be absent for any reason. And sometimes those excused absences will not include a doctor's visit or a funeral or something like that. So you just have to communicate. College is a lot about communicating, and like we don't have our guardians holding our hand anymore. So it's like we have to make sure we can communicate for ourselves. So like Ron said, just email them and let them know what's going on because they want to make sure you're successful because that's everyone's goal here at Goucher is to make sure you're successful. So email them, let them know what's going on. I know sometimes you may be like, listen, this is my second absence. I don't want them to think that I'm that person, but just continue to communicate with them because that's the maturity and they'll see you as a mature person by doing so.
What options do we have to take classes on other campuses?
Yeah.
We have
It's we have what is it called, Christy? It's called
the exchange. We have a college town shuttle. Then we have like an exchange program with local colleges.
Yeah.
And so what you can do is you can always take the shuttle to other colleges, or you can drive or do whatever you'd like to do to take classes on other campuses. For example, if you wanted to take a language that we don't offer on Goucher's campus, you can absolutely do that. So you are able to do that, but you're not able to do that in your first semester. So your first semester, we have all your classes on campus, and then you can start exploring that option after. But it is something that some of our students like to take advantage of.
Is tutoring available on campus? We do have we have on campus tutoring. I don't know if we
The
call it
SIs.
tutoring yet. We call it SIs. We have ACE. We have the writing center. We have we have a lot of networks that you can go to for assistance with tutoring. So like we said, like we have ACE, our academic center for excellence. Yes. So through that, it's like it helps prepare you for like if you know you're not good at scheduling or planning and you need help with that. When you go to ACE, you'll sit down with an advisor and they'll help you through that transition. The writing center, you can book an appointment, and these are all free resources, everyone. It's all free. So you can book an appointment. They'll help you if you come with some idea of your writing and what you think you need. They'll help you develop it. They'll check over for you, help you with any grammar errors. They'll do all of that. SIs. So for the classes that are more complex or more difficult, you'll have a student
Supplemental instructors.
Supplemental. Fancy words. Instructor, and they're usually students who have done very well in that course previously, and they'll create a day that is best for the entire class where you meet up and like maybe before a test to help you study for the test or just help you study materials when they know that one unit may be more difficult than the other to help you with those. So those are the 3 that I know of.
So ACE is pretty much just a center on campus for this. They distribute all that except for the writing center,
And the
the-
QR Center.
the QR
That's
center,
for
which
math.
is
Quantitative
yeah,
reasoning.
math,
Center.
data analytics, statistics, all of that go there. So ACE also offers TAs, which are teachers assistants. Basically, it's just like SIs. They're people who did really well in the class, and they'll let you know. They're just another helping hand in the class. They'll introduce themselves in the beginning of the semester, and this professor will definitely let you know if there's a SI or a TA. All this information is also available online.
And
But yes.
during orientation, you'll be able to meet the people in these offices and see the spaces. So if this
Yeah.
feels like a lot, don't worry. We will have it written down for you. We will tell you exactly where to go, and we will
Right.
even walk you there if you need it.
Yes.
We will.
So the next question, I am fluent in a language already. Do I need to take a language? So unless you are a native speaker, you do need to take a language at Goucher.
How much homework do you typically have for each class? So, woo. So yeah. So okay, you answer this.
No, I don't know.
I
If it's
don't-
true. I've heard
It's
that.
different. Oh, like how much time to spend on homework, or
Is
how
it-
much homework do you have
I've heard like it's 4 hours,
for each
times,
class?
like
4 hours of
like
homework
per credit. Like if it's a 2 credit class, it's like 8 hours outside of the class per week or something like that. Yeah, so it's like
Is that
if
how
it's
it's
a
supposed
4
to be?
hours, 4 hours per credit. So if you
It
take
varies.
Yeah.
It varies.
It
Like
varies.
as I would say, from my personal experience as an econ major, environmental studies minor, I don't get as much homework as I hear other people get. My classes are very writing intensive, so it's more spread out for the environmental studies. And then the econ major, we mostly have quizzes and stuff in class. And the homework, they're more studying things. They're not like what I would consider homework. So, yeah, it really varies. Some people have homework.
I have a lot of reading.
Yeah, readings are
I have a
huge.
lot.
That's where ACE is really helpful too. If you come in and you look at your schedule and think, oh my gosh, thank you, everyone. And you think I have so much work and I don't know how to manage my time, they're a really great resource for helping you sit down and look at everything and plot it out so that you can be a student but also be a person who has a life. So that is
Yes.
helpful.
I love that.
Is there a place on the Goucher website that breaks down exactly how many credits we need per subject for graduation requirements and majors? Yes. So if you look at the Goucher college catalog, you have all of that information in there. So it'll have what each major requires, what the general Goucher Commons requirements are for everyone, and another thing that people ask about a lot, so this might be a question later on, it also has the breakdown of what AP scores count for what classes. So that's really good to look for too. So that is all in the Goucher College catalog.
What's the minimum amount of time you recommend between classes? So for myself, I like the back-to-back classes. So the structure that you're used to from high school, I like it that way. I don't like I don't like time in between my classes. I know Rip One is different. I know something like this semester I woke up and I would do everything, my morning routine. I would grab food and I would go to my first class and I was happy because I had 3 classes after that and my day was done. So I wasn't hungry because I grabbed breakfast on the way and then I took all my classes and then I was good. I like it that way. I know some people, but I wish I had like 30 minutes in between class, but I'm not that person.
Yeah. So, very different. I need at least 30 minutes between each class, which is very fair. This is because I'm the type of person who I am not going to focus in the next class if I just left another class because my headspace is in homework. So what I like doing is having it, though the way they're set up is there's usually like an hour and a half between each class if you aren't taking a class until the next one for some classes. So I usually have an hour and a half break between all my classes. That's what I've been doing for a couple semesters now. And then I really like it. I don't do 8 a.m.s or anything past 1:10 p.m. So
he has a time frame.
So that makes it really, really easy to have a schedule. harder if there are classes I need after and before that.
So what time
But-
would you like your first class to be?
Well,
So I just
Like
like to point out at this moment
30 maybe.
that Ridwan is a senior and has a lot more control over his schedule.
Oh, right.
and
yes.
has
Woo.
at times in his college career taken classes outside of the window of
Thank
10
you,
a.m.
yes.
and 1:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And you will.
That is
You
how
will.
I know
You'll
I
be
don't
fine.
like it. Yeah.
And if you want to talk about the physical time you need to get from class to class, if you have 10 minutes, that will be plenty of time
Yeah,
to leave
that-
with
Oh
class,
yes, that would be.
go to the bathroom, go to your next class.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have what we call the academic quad, where the buildings for that you'll be taking your courses are in a quad shape, which I really appreciate. I like the fact that you don't have to go like down. That's why I chose a small school, because I didn't want to have to go down the street or across the street
Or
to
take
my-
a bus.
or take a
to
bus to get
another
to my
class.
next
That's
class.
different.
No.
Yeah, it's
That's
literally like
work.
a couple of minutes in between. Like from my
Yeah.
my room, which is like in the back of the campus, even to the classes is about a 5-minute walk. So
Yeah.
trust me, you'll be fine with the time in between your class.
Mine is 3 minutes. So when I'm late to class, it didn't even feel like
I'll
I
be living
was.
where you live next
So-
year, so mine will be 3 minutes too.
Oh.
Oh.
So our next question is, how do I fit study abroad into my schedule? Can I study abroad in my first year? So study abroad is something that if you are interested in studying abroad pretty much right away, you'll definitely want to talk to our Office of International Studies pretty early on. So most people do not study abroad in their first year, just because we want you to get a year under your belt to get acclimated. Most of our students study abroad in their junior year. However, you could take an intensive course abroad or an ICA in the summer after your first year. So know that that's an option. You'll just want to keep an eye out for information about those, because they do require a class in the spring semester. So you have to take that class before you go abroad, which is why people really don't study abroad until that time. You cannot study abroad before you come to Goucher, which was the other part of that question. That's a lie. You can absolutely go abroad before you come to
Yeah.
Goucher, but it won't count for any credits for the college.
So we both, so I did an ICA and Deja's doing an ICA. So I went to Ghana. There's a lot of options for ICAs.
What's an
But-
ICA?
Intensive course abroad. Yes. So ICAs are only 3 weeks to a month, and they pretty much are very intensive courses that, like Christine was saying, you need pretty much a class before you can actually go to the ICA, because there's a lot of stuff you need to know before you can just go on ICA, and there's like a lot of prep work that needs to be done, and also because it's not a whole semester, you are going to need a lot of guidance into how to get ready to go abroad. Trust me, I did. If you want to explain some of your experience.
I don't have any experience yet. I'll be going abroad this June to China. So I'll be doing my ICA this summer in China. So I'm really excited about that. So I guess I'll gain my experience soon. But yeah, like Ridwan said, there'll be a course in the semester before the summer. If you're doing a summer ICA, there'll be a course in your spring semester to help prepare you for that. So taking care of everything like your passports, if you need a visa, if there's any shots that you need to take, medical forms. So all of that is explained throughout that course to alleviate some of the stress.
Is a PE credit required in order to graduate? It sure is. And, you know, it's important. I think it's really hard to say anything past yes. So I'm just going to say yes, it is. There are a lot of options for PE classes. I took intensive cardio class. There's tennis. There's frisbee. There's equestrian. There's a lot
To
of options.
Pilates.
Yeah, Pilates. There's also yoga. There's like other things. There's stretching classes. There's non-stretching classes. There's intensive strength classes. You can just have. There's a lot of options, and they're all at different times, so you can pick one that works for your schedule.
Ooh, this is a nice question.
Yeah.
Whoever sent this one in, this is great.
How approachable are faculty at Goucher? This may sound weird, but how do we get to know them? Faculty, this is a very friendly place. Like, let me tell you, when you get here, if you're lost, Give it 5 seconds. You won't be.
Yeah.
You'll have everyone in every corner trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Faculty here, they're completely supportive. If you just go, like, if during their office hours, they'll let you know what their office hours are, or it'll be outside their door or on the webs on their if you like Google them or whatever, like on the Goucher website. But if you just go in and explain to them who you are or what you want to do, even if they don't know you, they're willing to do whatever it is that you need them to do. They're completely approachable. They're here. They really make sure that you know that they are. Even if it's like a lot of them give you their phone number, so it's like if you have a question for a professor, they'll let you know what hours you shouldn't contact them, but usually they're like it's open hours, and it really makes it easier for you to know that you don't have to stress too much about too many things, because it goes back to that communication. As long as you communicate with them and let them know what's going on, they're completely willing to help you. So I think that they're completely approachable. Like I just walk up to them a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't have to be the faculty that you have class with.
Mhm.
I had a faculty advisor who I still go to almost every week, just to check in. That's how easy it is. Some, like Deja was saying, you can just walk into anyone's office and just be like, "Hey, you don't know who I am, but here, this is who I am." Like, if there's someone you feel like you should know and want to know, it is super easy to know. Just go in their office, find out where it is, call them. The office number is also on the website. So just know them. It's really easy. Yeah, they're very approachable. Except while they're in class teaching.
Yeah. Don't.
Except
Maybe not
that.
like
Yeah.
talk to them.
Should I expect to be in class all day like I was in high school?
Oh, should you?
Should you? So I wouldn't. I don't know about anyone else, but this is in high school. Fun fact. And you literally, so the way it works is you have the same class blocks like high school, but it's not set up where you have class back to back to back unless you like that kind of stuff. But no, you won't be in class all day. The fun thing about college is you will have all this free time until it's not free time that you won't know what to do with.
It's never free time.
Yeah, after a while, there's no free time. But
Otherwise.
your first semester, I would say you will have free time because you won't have anything. You're not going home after school. Like, you're not going like a specific place. You're not staying after school for extracurriculars. You are always in school, if that makes sense. So extracurriculars count as like clubs that can be anywhere between like 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And
Or
people,
later.
yeah, or later than that in some cases. Clubs meet all the time, and you just essentially are just here experiencing whatever you want to do. And part of that is school, but don't feel like academics is the only thing you have to do. Have fun and know what you like to do, because it's gonna help you in the future. Don't.
Also, some of that free time that you have is should be geared towards the work that you have for classes. So that homework, when you finish, if you do have an early
Right.
day where you finish around noon, maybe heading over, like grabbing something to eat, and then after that heading over to the library for an hour and a half to just get started on some of the homework, or making an appointment with the QR center or the writing center to help you start on some of those assignments so you can stay up to date. Like, it's a good use of time management, which is ACE is also for time management, because sometimes you'll realize that you get hung up in the swing of things, and you're like, wait, I have 3 papers due in an exam. Like, where did the time go?
Yeah.
That free time is the time that you have to utilize to get those things done. So make sure that if you don't know how to prioritize and things like that, definitely, please use ACE. That's what they're there for. Trust me, freshman year, I wish I would have taken more advantage of ACE. You have to, in order to be successful, you have to know how to prioritize your time.
A related question: will I only take classes with other first-year students? No. You will have your first-year seminar with other first-year students, and your FYE classes also with other first-year students, unless you're a transfer student, and then your FYE class is all transfer students. So you will have classes with upper class students as well. Should we take this? Yeah. So what is the difference between DMC and regular math? So DMC is our data and mathematical computational science.
Yes.
DMC. DMC is our data analytics classes. And so that's different from regular math because it is really taking all of those math skills that you would learn. You're still learning them, but you are applying them to more real world situations and looking at them more through a liberal arts lens of being able to apply them to other pieces of your education. So they're really exciting. They're really fun, and students have a great time in them. So even if you're one of those people who thinks, math, which I know some people are, don't be worried or scared by those. They are really different, and they have you use your brain in a different way to look at math skills.
Also, it's fun because you aren't just taking a regular old statistics class. You could be taking a statistics class that focuses on the environment, or a statistics class that focuses on inequity, or a statistics class that focuses on some kind of justice. It's like essentially to help you learn critical thinking and learn math in a different way versus just being in a class being spoken at about math. It's really fun. Some of them include computer science, so you also get to learn some coding. You get to learn a bunch of different things that will make sure you're not just sitting there learning math. And it's supposed to challenge you a little, so get ready for the challenge.
So when do I meet my advisor? So you will talk with your advisor on the phone in the middle of June, and then you'll meet with them in person when you arrive for orientation. So that is exciting. So it looks like we are wrapping up for tonight. What I do want to remind you of is if you have not yet completed the things on the new student portal that you need to complete by June 3rd, please, please, please go in and do that. Those include the advising questionnaire, your placement exams, your first year seminar selections, and a handful of other items. There are also some other things coming up that people I know get very worried about too. So you want to complete your housing information by June 14th. Make sure that you're also submitting for any academic accommodations as well. And if you have not yet done so, please make sure that you make an appointment with your primary care physician to get a physical so that you can fill out all your medical forms and paperwork. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at firstyear@goucher.edu, and know that we are the faces answering firstyear@goucher.edu. So we really mean email us at firstyear@goucher.edu, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have. So thank you so much. This has been lovely. We will have the next AMA at the end of June, and that will feature our Director of Residential Life, who will be here to answer any and all questions about housing. But we're excited to talk with you and meet you in a couple months. And if you have any questions, let us know. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Go, Mint.